Hey, everybody, we're going to talk about what happened in this James Craig trial on day 9. Now, you would think by now, okay, we've heard everything. No, you have not heard everything. What you're going to hear today is stunning. And that's not clickbait. I'm telling you right now, it's stunning. But listen to my intro first, and then I'll tell you all about it. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rebecca, your host of Crafting and Crime Daily, coming to you from Color and Chat with Joanna's studio. She's having coffee. I'm having coffee. What does this say? Winter kisses. Anyway, I gotta tell you, this lead detective was testifying, Bobby Olson, the one that he solicited to have murdered. Um, she testified all day long, and I'm gonna tell you what she had to say, what she found during her investigation. And but before I get into that, would you mind hitting that thumbs up button? It helps YouTube send this out to more people, and um, subscribe. Why not? It's free. So, and if you're already subscribed, consider becoming a member. I'm going to be doing a members only live coming up here soon, where I explain why I'm doing all this traveling. So there is an explanation. So let's talk about lead detective Bobby Olson. First, she talks about this letter. She's trying to tie, because all this evidence has been coming in during the trial, and she's trying to chronologically tie it all together. So she gets a letter. She doesn't know who she got the letter from, uh, saying Angela Craig paid $66,000 to someone to frame James Craig. Okay. Then she participated in the search where the shaker bottle was found. Then she talked about life insurance. There was apparently $4 million worth of life insurance where James Craig was the beneficiary. Then we got into the subject of surveillance footage, both from the home and the office and the hospital, you guys. Oh my God, my glasses are crooked. Anyway, now you're going to notice it, right? Hold on. Maybe if I just. Okay. So the defense objected, of course, and they said, no, 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 these are large clips where there's huge gaps in the clip, and people, and that was overruled. We got to see the footage. I didn't get to see it, just the people in the courtroom got to see it. So there was thousands of hours of surveillance footage from the kitchen, well, from the home, between February and March. And then there was surveillance footage from the office that showed James Craig picking up an Amazon box that allegedly had the arsenic in it. Then it shows on the morning of March 6th, in the early morning hours, James Craig is microwaving and mixing something in a cup with a pink lid. Where have we heard a cup? They found on the search the cup with the pink lid that had the residue in it, and turned out to be tetrahydrozoline, the Visine eye drops. So the next clip the jury sees is that same day, March 6th, Angela's drinking something. Then the couple's chatting in the kitchen, and he says, you kind of look pale. You feel okay? Then later that day, now March 6th, that's the first time she goes to the hospital. So this is after that first time she goes to the hospital. She says, it was your fault that they treated me like a suicide risk. And nothing I was going to say was going to be believed. And James Craig says, I wanted a drug panel because you were accusing me. She says, you just brought me home. You didn't try to call my PCP. You didn't do anything. James Craig says, I don't want you to pass out dead on the bathroom floor. She says, I can never tell if your memory is intact or not. Then the detective talked about phone data showing that James Craig had gone from the dental office to Midland Scientific. Well, showing that the phone had gone from the dental office to Midland Scientific. And they tied that in with a text or a communication that James Craig had made to Midland Scientific saying, hopefully this is in stock and I can pick it up on March 9th. Then we get to March 9th. Now, this is paraphrasing all of this testimony. This testimony took the entire day. We're just getting the highlights here. So, the morning of March 9th, James Craig is on surveillance handling a shaker bottle and a white cup. Now, this is around 5 a.m. in the morning. And then you see James Craig bringing Angela Craig the cup at 6 a.m., or roughly an hour later. And she's sitting on the couch and she takes it. Then we go to March 15th. Oh my God, you guys, this is terrifying what we're seeing now. James Craig is seen on the hospital footage. This is March 15th, where she goes in. She's pretty sick. She's starting to get better. They're thinking about discharging her. The brother-in-law had been in the room. James Craig comes in. He asks her to leave, asks the brother-in-law to leave. Shortly after that, James Craig leaves Angela's room, goes into the bathroom. About a minute later, you see him come out with a small, clear or object in his hand, heading back towards Angela Craig's room. Then about a minute later, you see him rush out of the room to the nurse's station where he's pointing towards his arm. So I'm assuming this is where he came out and told them, oh, her arm's hurting. And he did it in such a fashion that the nurses, you see them all rushing into the room. And we know that Angela Craig crashed after this. Like, this evidence is so damning. Like, do we really need to even deliberate? Like, by a show of hands. Guilty, not guilty? Oh my God. You guys, it gets better. It gets better. Now, there's a spot on your iPhone. It's an app called Notes. And I go in there every now and then and make some notes. Well, James Craig was making notes. Now, March 15th, his wife is declared brain dead. By the end of the day, she's brain dead. I think the dog made his way in here now. What's up? Hold on. What are you doing? You got yourself in here. You can't get yourself out. You see the dog. Okay. I don't know which dog that was. It was either George or Fiona, but one of the two. Anyway, James Craig on this note page writes 4 pages of stuff that are entirely self-serving. This is at 1 o'clock in the morning on March 16th. His wife has just been declared brain dead. You know, they're going to harvest her organs over the next few days. And he, at 1 o'clock in the morning, decides, I'm going to write this note. Now, I'm assuming this is after he has taken his concubine, Karen Kane, out to dinner because she's in town. And he gets back and he decides, let me write this note. Anyway, James Craig, he says that he opened a Seeking account and that he was asking Angela Craig for a divorce. And she responded by saying she was just going to end her life. Said she talked about driving her car into a pylon, but thinks she probably wouldn't die if she did that, or was afraid she wouldn't die. Then she started talking about poisons. She asked James Craig to research poison for her that would kill her fast and with high accuracy. Now, at this point, the detective points out that, there were no searches in Angela Craig's browser history regarding poisons. Just James. James goes on to say, I told her there was no way I was going to administer these to her. This was her idea. All I would do is prepare the dosing so she could choose what to do. I'm sorry. I have to suspend my disbelief at this point. Like, why are you going along with this? Anyway, I told her our next conversation needed to be loving and sweet. We had to put on a show in public that we were a happy, loving couple, and she agreed. 2 Mondays ago, she tried the eye drops. That was our first trip to the ER visit. I must not have calculated the dosage correctly, or she didn't use all the eye drops. A couple days later, she tried the arsenic. She told me to put it in her protein shake in the morning so she wouldn't taste it, and she chugged it down. I did not want to tell the physicians that what she had taken, because she wasn't telling the physicians what she had taken either. In the hospital, she asked him to research what the fastest acting poison was and what the maximum dosage would be. Okay, first of all right, let's break. Why are you going along with this, Mr. Craig? Dr. Craig, if your loved one is suicidal, don't you get them help? Why are you at the very least, he's guilty of assisting her with suicide. I don't know what the time frame for that is, prison wise, but clearly guilty of that. If nothing else, he's admitting to helping her. And we know people have gone away to prison for that. So, said she wanted to try cyanide next, but read somewhere it tasted awful. And then why would she say maximum dosage? Like, first of all, it's cyanide. 0 is the maximum dosage. 0. Maximum dosage for what? This guy he's a trip. He's a trip. So this detective is still on the stand starting today. I suspect this is the last witness that we're going to hear from, I think, and then maybe the defense will put on their case. Usually the trial will end with the lead detective. Not positive. We still have to go through cross-examination, but this detective is tying all of the evidence against James Craig into one nice, neat little bow. But I'm still in disbelief that they have this poisoning on video. Well, I mean, they don't show him in the room what he's doing, but he leaves a room, goes into the bathroom, comes out with this clear object. A minute later, she crashes. Where did he inject her? Did he put it in her neck like he said he was going to? He told Karen Kane, I can do this. I can just put poison in the neck and it would kill somebody. When they were playing that game, that simulated the movie Purge. All right, I've talked enough about this. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think of this case. Do we need any more evidence to convict this guy? Of all the cases I have covered, I have never been so 101% sure that he killed his wife. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody. I'm going to the pool. Bye.